Hello, and welcome to the HPTV Podcast, where we talk about all things Harry Potter on HBO for another year. We are technically, it can now say next year for the first time. You can follow us on socials at HPTVPod or email us at hptvpodcast@gmail.com. I'm Mitchell, here with Jamie and Steven, and we are in 2026, our first episode of the year. It's been quiet. It's been quiet on the Potter front, but I think we all had some Potter celebrations. We had a wonderful Christmas episode. So if you're still feeling festive, go give it a listen. But what's going on with you guys? How did you get any Harry Potter presents for Christmas?
Bought myself some Harry Potter ornaments for our tree.
Yeah,
There's some really cool Hallmark ones. It was hard not to buy all of them.
It might be a good sign that we didn't, maybe we're growing up.
I did have some new ornaments. My mother-in-law a couple months ago went to the New York, the store.
Yeah.
I can't think of what it's called. And she got me a couple ornaments, and I almost forgot about those until I was putting up stuff for our Christmas episode. I was like, oh, I could put these on my Harry Potter tree. But yeah, I don't think I got any Harry Potter themed gifts, which is actually rare. People usually just jump to that for me, like Harry Potter or something.
It's a reliable gift.
Well, it's funny because there's so much merch these days that it's like, they saw stuff in the store. Why didn't they buy me something? Jerks.
But I don't need too much.
I didn't buy anything at Epic Universe except for Butterbeer, and I'm very proud. Oh, no, I got a Butterbeer t-shirt, which I'm very proud of. But I was going to say my birthday's right before Christmas, and my wife did get me the first 2 illustrated editions. So I've begun my collection of the illustrated editions. I still need, all the 3D ones and the other 3 illustrated, but I'm running out of bookshelf space. Maybe because I have 5 different versions of the books, but it's fine. It's fine.
Minor technicality.
No, we have not had much news coming about the series, which is good. They probably took a little Christmas hiatus for filming. They've, been in full work mode. A lot of people are questioning, they pulled out a location so fast that they're like, we don't really know if they shot anything in Scotland, which, is the actual setting. And they did a lot of on location Scotland shooting for the movies. So that's kind of something I've seen come up. Warwick Davis, who plays Phileas Flitwick, was asked about it. And he just kind of said, yeah, we're retelling them with more depth and detail than has been seen before, which has kind of been the company line. Like, nobody's going to give you anything interesting. And if someone's working on it, they're sure as heck not going to say anything negative. Have you guys seen anything else Potter out there in the world?
Little here and there. And Steven mentioned that Universal, or one of you that licensed more land or whatever, that they might get like a flying ride.
So
that broomstick up your butt.
Yeah.
Epic Universe has a bunch of expansion paths, some clearly to expand lands, some to be maybe a whole new portal. And one of them is right outside of the Ministry of Magic area, where they only have one ride and one show. So it makes sense that they would add to it. And I think the park, while it's had good reviews, is clearly lacking some capacity and just needs some more. I think they need more filler rides as well, but they're going to get another big attraction. And they have patented one that looks like it would be a good system for a flying broomstick ride. And there's a big old expansion area. They've filed a permit for a building that I think is slightly larger than the Ministry of Magic building. And the Ministry of Magic building is massive. Like, there are theme parks and like Six Flags parks in the year that are like, we would have turned that into like half a theme park with what they did with the space. And I think that scale makes it so impressive and magical. But duplicating that same size building, I think it's like 150,000 square feet or something. Like, it is gigantic. And this one's like,
it's 150,000 square feet. But the big thing lately is they've been filing permits, and they've been working on that expansion pad right next to the Harry Potter area. And so some of the permits are tied to apparently the code number that they would use for Harry Potter land stuff as compared to other lands. So they know that it's something tied to Harry Potter. I do wonder, though, having like another massive, because Ministry is like the ride to ride when you go there. And if they add, and that's the first one they add there, it's going to be very interesting to have like the 2 big e-ticket rides back in that corner. Because I mean, there's not a ton of space, I guess, once you just have lines coming out both sides of the land. But it will take a couple of years. Maybe people will be sick of Ministry of Magic by then.
Well, it's weirdly, it's that, and then Donkey Kong is usually, but that's because of its low capacity. It's a hard one. And then on other days, other rides like the Mario Kart one get quite long. But to me, this maybe the best attraction is the scary one, the Monsters Unleashed, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, That
the
is a great
Frankenstein
ride.
Experiment, and it has like no weight. So it's just funny how much that IP matters. But yeah, will be the two most popular rides will be the Harry Potter rides. It's also interesting that they're not looking to expand Diagon Alley, and they have started to deconstruct. Is that what you call it? The Lost Continent, which is the big area right next to Hogsmeade. I don't think that's going to be Harry Potter. It's probably going to be Zelda or Pokemon or something.
Yeah, I think the issue over at Universal, though, to expand Diagon Alley, I don't know if there's space to expand Diagon Alley is the problem. I think that's
They've
part of
got
why
a.
they have to expand Epic.
I think someone said there's like a team member parking lot or something behind one of those because you feel so immersed 360. I'm like, they just need, even if it's a kid's ride, just something else in there. But it is, incredible all on its own. But the other thing that came out in December, which we talked about in our Christmas episode, and we've now had a chance to listen a little bit, is the second full cast version, Chamber of Secrets. I have just frankly barely been able to listen to any of it. We were traveling for Christmas, and so it's been tough to have any time to catch up on books, podcasts, etc. I am the only person in the world who hasn't seen the last episode of Stranger Things, but I'm on it. I'm like 7 minutes in. So I guess I'd turn it over to you guys. Let's talk about Chamber of Secrets. If you want to start it with your broad thoughts, and then let's dive into some new characters and what you think of the voicing. And yeah, compared to Sorcerer's Stone, what are your broad thoughts so far, Stephen?
I thought we were going to talk about Stranger Things, but I guess
we can't because I haven't seen that.
No, we'll work on that, Mitchell. Priorities. Come on. I don't care if you have a newborn baby and a job and stuff. Like
that is the. I've been waking up and letting Hannah sleep a bit, and I'll just come out here with my baby and watch Stranger Things, and he is just getting traumatized.
Poor thing. He thinks that's normal. But no, I'm really excited to talk about the full cast audio actually, because Chambers seems something about it seems like maybe it's the audio mix or something, but there's fewer jarring moments than I felt like there were in Philosopher's Stone. So it's smoother. There's like this nice little background music in certain scenes where like Harry walks into the burrow, and I didn't even notice it at first, but there's just like this light little music in the background, which really like sets a tone. I don't remember that from the first one. I have to go back and re-listen. But I do feel like they got the audio mix better. So you're not having like sound effects like super loud over audio or over, voices that you can't, make out anymore. But I feel like it was really well done. I guess it's a short version. It's an improvement on the first audio book, even though we know the second book is not the strongest of all the books.
A win for Chamber.
Jaime, what'd you think?
I don't get a lot of them.
I agree. I actually started re-listening to Sorcerer before I listened to this. So it was a pretty immediate switchover for me. And I just feel like the sound mix was better. The breathing that really bothered me, of like Harry constantly, and other characters at times just been, there's still some of that in Chamber, but not as much at all.
Are there like affirmative grunts?
Yes, but still not as bad. Like in Sorcerer, and I wonder if they're going to go in maybe and remix it, because I feel like I've heard a few people complain about that stuff, but it almost had like a Sims sound. You know how like the Sims characters
or like the Wii people, what do you call Mii's?
Yeah.
Whatever you call the Wii guys.
The Mii's, yeah. And so I felt like there was less of that in this. And then we could talk about different performances, but I thought every new actor in this was great. Draco still has his laugh. It's just too much.
Draco's very annoying. I don't like. He's very smarmy and everything. Like that works, but
I thought he was not good.
Annoying in general.
I felt like it was toned down a little bit in this one, which I did recognize, because when you first hear him in Sorcerer, it's like, okay, let's bring that back a little bit. But I thought he was great, and I actually thought, who plays Harry? Frankie Treadaway.
Yeah.
Frankie Stechino. I actually thought he was really good in this one. And not that he was bad in Sorcerer, but you could tell that like he was in the flow at this point. And it's kind of fun to hear like a different Harry. Daniel Radcliffe's the only kid reference we have. And I don't know. I really liked it.
Do you think...
my worry though is that he's getting into the groove and we're finally going to like get used to it and like it. And then we only have one more book, and then it switches to different actors for books 4 through 7. And so I'm very sad. Like it's going to be, jarring all over.
I was going to say, do you think you're going to be like, I don't have those kids' voices in my head. And so I'm curious, do you think after listening to 3 books that it's going to be jarring to go into Goblet. Like you're already going to have the rhythm of those new voices with the full cast additions in. Is that going to feel like a dramatic departure? Because they could straight up change accents. I mean, even if it's just, a slight change, like, yeah.
I think it's going to be mostly jarring because it's going to just, their voices are going to be deeper and older. And so I wonder if 3, they're
That'd be weird too to see all their voices change at once, because you know how that happens in real life, right? This friend's voice changes first and then that one, and you're just gonna get. So I don't know if I'll notice it the first time, because I'm like listening to 1 and then waiting for 2 and then listening to 3. But I think of future listens when I'm like listening to them back to back. That transition from 3 to 4 is gonna be like, well, it's gonna be like the old Game of Thrones books where they have that different narrator. Did you guys ever listen to that one? There was a different narrator for certain, like 2 books or something, and then I think the guy went back and re-recorded them later. But that was the only version. He would pronounce everything different. His accent was completely different. I'm like, what are you people doing? So I'm sure it won't be that bad.
Should we go over some of the new voices? So there was, who would have been first? Dobby, which was Daniel Mays, who I thought was really good. I think it was pretty similar. It was similar to the movie Dobby, but not as like squeaky annoying, which I liked. Like, because Dobby's still supposed to be kind of annoying, but, and also as much as I love the old audiobooks, Dobby's so annoying.
Yeah, it's true.
Which I thought was really good. Then who played Lucius?
Yeah,
Alex.
but I don't remember the name.
I think it was Alex Hassel or something. He was really good. I was like, and I think that actually helped me with Draco a little bit, is that first scene where they're in the shop together. And then Kit Harington, I thought was so good. I couldn't even tell it was Kit Harington. Like, I just thought, I was like, oh, I'm going to be thinking of like Jon Snow the whole time, or I'm just like going to be thinking about Kit Harington. I thought he did really, really good. Like, there was moments I was like, oh, there's Kit Harington, but he did a really good voice. Oh, Aragog was really good. I felt like it could be a little deeper. Tom Riddle, I thought was really good. Simon Pegg as Arthur was good.
Oh, I love Simon Pegg as Arthur.
I swear his voice is completely different in some of the scenes. Like when they're in Diagon Alley, he kind of has more of like a confident voice. And like, obviously, like he goes up against the Malfoys. There's a little fight. But there's sometimes I felt like his voice sounded, I don't know. I didn't love it all the time. So I was kind of surprised because I was actually really excited for Simon Pegg to be part of this. But it's not even like that it's bad either way. I just felt like it sounded different in different scenes. But still fine.
Is Riz Ahmed gotten any better? I didn't like him.
And it's not, I think his voice is great, but it's not Snape's voice. Like Snape's voice, it
throws me up every time he talks. I'm like, that's not Snape, dude.
More
I don't know
like
what their issues are with casting Snape, but like, man.
It's not even that I hear Snape in a specific way because of Alan Rickman or Jim Dale. It's like, I just didn't feel like he was giving me that character. It's not that I need a specific voice. And I need to say, everyone go watch Riz Ahmed and everything he does. The Sound of Metal, The Night of, he's an incredible actor. I'm in no way questioning his ability or his voice acting. Just he's not good at Snape.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not Snape. Like it's not who Snape is.
Snape the Snake. Oh, I wonder if that's what he went by in his gang. Snape.
What he was known by amongst the ladies.
Snivelous. Yes, Snape's snake. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Our only listeners are mom and dad. You
have to cut that part out for mom. Send her her own special edit.
She listened to the Wand episode, so I think we owe her one.
Oh, I still got to make that t-shirt. I've got it almost ready.
So let's talk about Prisoner of Azkaban's coming up. Obviously, Sirius Black is the big voice, but you actually don't hear Sirius Black speak until the very end. In general, actually, you barely hear Sirius speak. He has 2 scenes in Goblet, right? So it's really only Order where that is going to come into play. Are there any other characters that come in 3 that are going to be exciting?
I mean, Lupin shows up. I'm excited to hear Lupin.
You know what?
Lupin will make him sound werewolfy.
Maybe they should get Jacob from Twilight to do it. Okay, I forgot they have Saoirse Monica Jackson from Derry Girls is doing Trelawney, which is like, she's way too young to be Trelawney. So that is going to be an interesting one. Have you guys seen Derry Girls? This is actually quite an important question.
No.
I've thought about watching it so many times. I see it frequently on Netflix, but I haven't actually watched it.
Well, you're not married to Northern Irish women.
No,
so
I watched it before I married a Northern Irish woman, and it's about Catholics, so it's actually kind of tricky for us. So no, I think you guys will legitimately pee your pants laughing. I think you'll like it a lot.
I think it'd be funny. I just haven't had time.
You have time for other things like Kids Bop.
Yes.
Yeah, where's your review of the Kids Bop concert, Jamie? That's what we really need.
Yeah, I was looking for it on TikTok the other day.
Mom and Dad will love it.
It was the in-movie theater experience, Kids Bop, so it wasn't the real actual concert. But of course, they charge you a significant amount. It was something to do with my kids on break, okay? Oh. And my kids love crap like that.
Matt Berry is going to play Sir Cadogan. That is going to be fantastic. Anyway, so to provide some dates here, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban full cast audiobook is going to come out on the 13th of January, which is, we are recording
a week from today,
1 week before that. So this will probably be out about 4 days before that one. Is it bad if I skip Chamber and I'll come back to it when I have time? I spent the credit on it.
But then you're going to not hear Kit.
Well, that's true. But I did hear there were lots of TikToks and Twitter clips. Yeah. And then...
Wait, there was a lot of what? TikToks about what?
Of Kit Harington's doing the voice. And a lot of people were like, I don't think he could do blonde, but I mean, sure he could, but people were advocating for him to have the role. And then Goblet of Fire comes out on 10th February. I forget that these are coming fast.
The 10th of February.
I'm British.
I've been thinking a lot about James McAvoy as Moody. I feel like he could do it in the movie.
I do need to thank you guys. Anytime I used a British piece of vocabulary among some friends, I was lambasted, and I don't think you guys once gave me crap for saying. And by the way, I don't try the accent. I don't say anything weird. I just use.
There was one time when I was out there.
Hear rubbish, or you naturally say some of the words.
You ordered food at something, and one word you said was totally with an accent, and you did not believe me.
No, I remember it was when we were by the Tower of London when you were visiting, and you told me you were like,
"Kind of a hot dog." What it was.
No.
I was like, did you just say that with an accent? And you're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, you did. I'm like a sausage.
Well, my family, we don't say wrong words, but we do just speak Portuguese sometimes in front of you so you can't understand us. That's very polite of us.
I know. I looked up all the swear words in Portuguese, and I'm going to send you a list of ones that your kids called me.
And they don't
know the swear words. I've never taught. But there were times where I scolded my children in Portuguese in front of Mitchell and Hannah. You knew that, right? I mean, it was kind of that, like, we know exactly what you're saying, Stephen.
I would say it's more of a chide, a quick, maybe there were scolds, but I'd call it like a quick little chide. But I just scolded them in English.
But that's what we do.
Scolding other people's children?
In British English. I don't know how you scold a kid differently.
Seth, I had to constantly scold Seth.
I know. My kid is such an
infant.
Can't follow rules to save his life.
So I'm looking stuff up, and I think this is accurate. You guys may have to double check me. But it says Lupin is Ewan Rayan, he played Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones.
Oh.
So that's right.
This is interesting.
You guys even watch my TikToks?
He always plays a villain. Jamie, that was ages ago. I've forgotten all of these people. I'm bringing up the list. Hannah and I just started watching The Night Manager. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's really good. And the new season has just started. So we're watching the first season, and Hugh Laurie is in it. And I was like, that's Dumbledore. No, I didn't say that. But it is interesting to see him do both.
But like Hugh Laurie as Dumbledore, I still like, but it wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be. It's good, but it's not like.
He's one that, like, it really sounds like Hugh Laurie. Like, I feel like Kit Harington didn't sound too much like Kit Harington. Like, he was doing a different voice. Yeah. And but Simon Pegg sounds like Simon Pegg, I guess, most of the time. I didn't notice the other voice he did sometimes. But yeah, Hugh Laurie, every time I just feel like I'm watching House or something.
I'm going to make an example.
I didn't watch House, but I think Hugh Laurie, even so, has a very distinct voice.
Which is still good.
Well, like, Mark Addy just sounds like, he doesn't sound like him, but he sounds like the movie Hagrid.
Yes. But still a little toned down. I still feel like everyone besides Draco is pretty much toned down from the movies, which I like because it's not as over the top, which it could be. It was more the sound design.
Freaking out all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, then the breathing.
Did Justin Fletchley sound like a little douchebag? I hate that.
A little bit, but
he might be my least favorite character in all the books.
What you getting at, Harry?
I hate him so much.
Colin Creevey was new. But I will say, like, definitely, like, the people who are, like, trained voice actors, have all been great. Some of the side people, like I think Aragog, I think that's which was needed. I think that was great. And I think Tom Riddle, I don't think Tom Riddle was anyone well known. And that was pretty good. Like he had that fine line of being like snooty Tom Riddle / slimy Voldy. Spoiler alert.
That's scary.
Wait, you're saying Tom
You know
Riddle?
something interesting though? Oh, go ahead, Mitch.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of all the other like side actors and stuff like that. So last time when I finished book 1, I was like, I just got home from the grocery store, so I'm bringing in bags of groceries. So I couldn't like pull out my phone and pause. And so I listened to the entire list. At the end, they list every single person and what role they did. And some of them it's like postman and it's random person on the corner. And so it was a lot of people. So it was very impressive, just like the side. Like when they say full cast, like they don't have like some voice actors who do like 12 different voices. Like there's a couple of cases where a person doubles up, but they have like individual actors for every single role, even when they're like random kind of one-liners, which I thought was really cool. I feel like they really took it seriously.
Which is, I mean, they could have saved money, really. Just kidding. No, I'm glad they
I know, right?
Hey,
They could have paid me to just do all of them. I do a great
actors.
fake British accent.
I was going to say, so at the end when Fox shows up, and I can't remember what part, I can't remember when it's like Fox's fight, they have like music playing underneath that I think is supposed to kind of reflect like the sounds that Phoenixes make. And that was really cool. I actually really liked that at the ending.
Who does Fox's voice?
Well, Fox doesn't speak. It's a bird.
Grab my tail.
It's a harp.
But when it comes to Prisoner of Azkaban, I just looked this up, and Stan Shumpike is played by David Holmes, who is the stunt performer who got injured in the movies. I didn't know that.
Oh, there's a whole
cool.
documentary about that, and it's actually, we're crappy Potterheads for never having seen that.
I know, and I think he wrote a book too.
Yeah, because Dan helped to promote it. Oh, this is another thing that kind of popped up in the news recently is Dean, the new actor who's playing Dean, ran into Alpha Enoch, who played Dean in the movies, and just at a tube station when he was headed to a football match. So, like, I thought that's so serendipitous.
And that's cute. And didn't Daniel Radcliffe come out, like, I think this came out over winter break or like Christmas break, that he wrote a letter?
Yeah, I thought that came out before, but yeah, he's.
Well, I don't think we ever talked about that.
Rupert Grint did as well, and I think, I mean, I don't know. This one hasn't had a big article about, but I think Emma has as well.
I'm sure Emma wrote 5 letters.
Whatever they feel about JK, I think they have a lot. Like they would be happy to have a positive, and they'd have a lot of empathy for these kids and what they're going to go through.
And I still don't think it's going to be as, I mean, it's still going to be a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I still don't think it's going to be as bad for these kids as it was for them. Hopefully.
But I just think because the internet is so much more immense than it was for the first 3, 4, really 5 even films, just how much spotlight is on this show. There's not much of an update on Warner Brothers since before Christmas happened, but right now they still have a contract with Netflix, but it has not been through any regulatory stuff, and Paramount keeps offering more and more money per share, where eventually if they offer too much, then Warner's gonna have to take it because it's just gonna pay out so much more for the shareholders. And I think either one is gonna let Harry Potter stand as it is, but it is gonna be 2 very different futures if it is on Netflix, and what Netflix is going to do with the important IP and what they're going to do with HBO Max. They've said they're going to keep theatrical releases, which doesn't apply here, but is just an interesting part of the story. And I'm still interested to see if Google or Amazon come in with a late big bid, because the thing about anything that comes up to bid for is that these tech companies could easily blow people out of the water if they want. Like if Apple wanted to just be like, we are going to dive in, they have more money than anyone. That's interesting about like the Oscars are going to be on YouTube next year, which is wild and feels a bit wrong. But I mean, people got to go where they can get the most cash flow. So we'll have to keep an eye out where this might actually come out. HBO Max is about to come out in the UK. And so Harry Potter has been removed from Netflix here, which is fine because I'm not watching them ever again. No, I will. But for the next year, and those were always popping up in the top 10. Like people just put those shows on. Like it is quite a coup for Netflix to have just had those as a library.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have it on Netflix here, but I always switched between Peacock and HBO like every 6 months. But they were always on the top. And then people would get excited when they like moved over to whichever one they had.
It was kind of genius for both of them, because if you're Warner Brothers, you're making money off the licensing for Peacock, and then you're having it boost yours. And then for Universal, yeah, you're maybe making less off of it, but you just know you're going to get that little boost every once in a while on Peacock.
We used to have it at Christmas time. Wasn't that usually HBO that had it around Christmas? Because that's when I always seem to watch them. It was Thanksgiving, Christmas time.
I would just watch them
I
DVD.
think it was HBO. Yeah, it's true. We own all the different versions on streaming.
I currently do not own anything to play physical media. And when I went home, I purged my Blu-rays. And so I only have a handful of critical ones. Oh, there's a dog. Is the dog have a weird shape?
Hey, Mila. Yeah, that's Mila.
Mila.
Yeah, I found a whole bunch of DVDs the other day. And I think I have one of those like portable DVD players somewhere, but that's like it.
I wonder if there are 4K versions of the Harry Potter movies. But yeah, they're just collectibles. I regret not keeping all the originals of everything ever.
Should have known as a child.
I don't know where they'd go. Also, Pokemon cords are really valuable right now. I'm really regretting getting rid of all those.
Pokemon cords?
Cards.
You said cord.
Did I?
No,
it's
Liam,
late,
we had
it's late at night.
Uncle or something that gave him like a stack of Pokemon cards. Ever tell you this? And we would just like scan them. Like there's an app you can scan them. It tells you what they're worth. There's a couple of those that are worth like $40.
I think Pokemon is like worldwide the biggest selling intellectual property. And I think it's actually quite underrated how popular it is. And I think of this in theme park terms. Like they're opening like a garden theme type park in Japan. But like once they actually open at a Universal, I think it'll go crazy. And it's reached a few generations now. And I think also people have said the Pokemon Company is learning that the first 150 to 200 Pokemon still have a lot of resonance. And so they need to stop adding and like refocus the franchise. Also, I like Detective Pikachu, and they never made a sequel to it.
Ah, that was good.
Yeah. That was the only Pokemon movie that I liked at all.
Well, it was the only real one, wasn't it? Other than the OG, which was a big theatrical, but then they just kept kind of making them because they make a bunch of money in Japan.
It did start to seem like Power Rangers after a while, where they just kept making new iterations and they just were lamer each time, just throwaway versions.
I feel like we're waffling a bit. So now that we have covered all there is for Potter and Quiet Season, let's hope that there's more to come. I'm excited for 2027 because that's when we get Harry Potter, but we still have a whole year of 2026 ahead of us. So let's do rapid fire, looking back, looking forward. What was your favorite movies or movie experiences, highlights of 2025? Steven.
I'm going to say Superman was really good, and F1. I thought that was a really good movie, and it was another sequel. We've had too many sequels and remakes, so it was original. And I mean, Brad Pitt's always solid, so that was enjoyable.
I thought you were going to say always hot. I want to see that one, but it was around the birth of my kid, and I want to see it in the theater. But I'm ready for more formulaic sports movies. Like we need some of that good old fashioned spirit back. I'm going to say, and Brad Pitt, yeah. You know, he's doing the Cliff Booth movie next year. So
yeah,
for Netflix, I would say Sinners. I missed a lot of movies because of the birth. I saw the 3 Marvel ones and Superman, and they were all fun. Like I wasn't mad, but nothing was that exhilarating. But I would definitely say Sinners came through in spades. I wish I could have seen it at 70 millimeter. I'm so lucky. I'm around one of 10 theaters in the whole world where you can, but it's 27 pounds. It's just so hard to find the right time to do it. But I think Coogler doing something original is very meaningful, and I liked a lot of little things that came along. It's a long year. Like I'm probably forgetting some stuff from the beginning of the year. James?
Movie wise, so I will say we're gonna watch Sinners this week. I haven't been able to watch it because children, but I know it's just like up my alley. I'm gonna love that movie. But I will say what I was most pleasantly surprised by, and I don't think a lot of people love it, was Thunderbolts. I love that movie, and like I've rewatched it like 3 times. I think it was really well done.
It probably deserves a rewatch, but there's so many new things to watch. It's hard to go back.
I know.
One day I'll take my wife through the Marvel canon, but I'll probably rewatch Thunderbolts before that. What about TV shows? Any quick TV shows that stand out to you guys from 2025?
Severance was awesome. I'm worried about if they have a real plan for where it goes next. I think Jamie feels the same way about that one. But I like Stranger Things. We'll have to talk about that more in depth once Mitchell has seen it.
Spoilers.
And then another show that I was thinking of that I really enjoyed watching is actually Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. It is not the typical, I mean, we tend to watch shows that are very serialized and, I don't know, high production value and stuff. This one's just like a little family sitcom, and it's very entertaining. I've enjoyed watching it, so I recommend it.
Severance, I love. I'm a little worried about the future of Severance, but I really liked it. Andor was probably my favorite TV show of the year. I liked White Lotus season 3, and I liked The Studio. I thought it was really good.
I really enjoyed The Studio, and it's doing really well, but I'm curious how many normal people watch The Studio. And look, we're not in the industry, but we like the industry enough to I think we got maybe one level of jokes, and I think there's probably 3 other levels of jokes that you can get in there. But I did really enjoy it. I will definitely shout out Andor. Adolescence, which just cleaned up at the Critics' Choice Awards, like an incredible experience. And then I had another one. The Pit, which is also winning awards, but I almost wish it wasn't winning awards, because The Pit it's like network TV and streaming had the perfect baby. It's a little longer than streaming season, but it's not old network style. It's just pushing the edge enough from what ER was. It's just serialized enough, but it's not really serialized. And it's like got the right amount of soapiness. I think it's such an enjoyable watch, and it's accessible to a lot of people while still being really high quality. Do you guys have any big disappointments for the year before we look forward to 2026?
I will say Mission Impossible. I think that the last movie,
that's right, we nailed it.
I think it was enough to set up like that this could be awesome, even though it itself was a little shaky. But then it wasn't. They tried really hard to lean on the nostalgia and bring back a lot of characters and stuff, but it just didn't work. And Tom Cruise looks real old in that movie. Like,
it's getting there. There's only so much that
he's looking leathery.
You can digitally de-age now.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for the nostalgia. I was like, but the fact that they then just made him essentially look like he was the savior of the world, which he is not, and they leaned back. They had such an ideal of self-importance that just didn't hit. And I was like, even if they were going to do that, then your story within your movie has to be good, and it wasn't good enough. I don't know. I saw a few things that didn't really meet up, but again, I don't think I have a great one. I think Dead Reckoning is the right answer. Jamie, did you have any disappointments?
There was nothing I was like majorly excited for, I think, this year besides Stranger Things, which we could talk about that later, obviously, because Mitchell hasn't finished. But I was disappointed by Brave New World. I think there was a lot of pressure on that movie, and it did not come through. Phoenician Scheme, I was disappointed by. I love Wes Anderson. It wasn't awful, but I don't even think I really even liked it. Like, I didn't hate it, but I don't think I'll ever rewatch that movie. And then just other little things like Jurassic World, I didn't even see because I immediately heard that it wasn't good. And that was kind of like also a nostalgic thing and like refreshing the band after the last set of Jurassic Worlds were bad. So it's just kind of like, I was like, a little bit of a letdown, but there was nothing I was overly excited about that totally flopped for me, but there was just a lot of meh this year. Like,
I was going to say on a similar note is Tron Ares. Like, I didn't even bother seeing it after I heard some of the people. And I thought that one had a lot of potential. When I first heard they were making a third one, I was like, oh, this could be cool. But no, I guess not. Once it comes out on streaming, I guess I'll watch it. But apparently it was no bueno.
All right. And new things that we're looking forward to in 2026. It can be TV. It can be a movie. There is a wild amount. There's so many things that like I hear talked about that I'm like, is that really going to be ready in 12 months? Like looking at where they are in production. A lot of cool things are coming back, obviously, but A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is based on the George R. R. Martin novellas, which you could read in like 2 hours. So I highly recommend it. I read the first novella, which is first season. It's only 6 episodes, half-hour episodes it'll be based on, which I love. That's kind of what I liked about Andor is like you had this drama unfolding in really tight time. So but that's coming up really soon. So I feel kind of spoiled that I'm not even going to have to wait for that. Let me think. I'll think of a movie. Oh, you know what? I am really excited for Doomsday and Spider-Man. Like, it's so funny that Marvel had such a wild year. I don't think a bad year, but it's not hitting the billion at the box office, which is bad. And I'm still really hyped for those 2 movies. And I think they're going to go a long way in rescuing it and seeing what direction they're going to go after they essentially blow up their universe.
I'm very excited for Doomsday. Yeah, my worry is that they're gonna overhype it, and then like Doomsday's gonna happen, and like there's gonna be no way for us to not be underwhelmed. Is my only thing, but it could still be solid.
But I think if Doomsday isn't great, well, I'll be like, okay, because we've already been disappointed by stuff recently. That it's like they can only kind of go up, and then even then, if they don't hit the mark, I'll be like, well, that sucks, but we knew that it might happen anyway.
We'll keep paying to go see them, right?
I'm very excited for the Odyssey. I love the Odyssey, and then Christopher Nolan. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, Nolan's the man, so that's going to be very, very cool.
I'm excited-ish for Project Hail Mary. I really like that book, but already from the trailer, it seems so different than the book, which is expected. You know, my husband's very excited for Dune.
Dune 3 is coming out at the end of the year.
The Devil Wears Prada Part 2.
Yes, I'm excited for Devils Wear Prada 2. I'm excited for Practical Magic 2, but a little worried. And I'm excited for Sense and Sensibility. So represent the females up in here.
Why are you saying men can't like those things?
No, they can, but none of you mentioned them.
I do remember liking Practical Magic very much. That might have been when I really discovered Nicole Kidman, and I was like, movies I'm really excited for.
I would remember seeing Eyes Wide Shut. I'm just kidding.
As a child.
Yeah, we saw that when we were real young. No. But no, Sunrise on the Reaping, the new Hunger Games movie prequel. I'm very excited for that. That story is very good, and I feel like it's starting to come together. The books they're finding ways to kind of connect them. Like, so there's the connective tissue between the prequels and everything. I feel like they're doing it, and I'm excited for them doing that in the movies as well, because I think we are going to have Katniss and Peeta. I'm forgetting Jennifer Lawrence and what's Peeta's real name in real life? Josh something?
Josh Hutcherson.
Anyway, Josh Hutcherson. That's it.
Hutcherson.
So they're supposed to come back. I'm guessing for a very short season. But and then the last one I had was Send to Help, the one with Rachel McAdams ending up on an island with her apparently very abusive boss, and her getting to terrorize him. It looks pretty freaking crazy. And I mean, pretty original too. So
it makes me uncomfortable.
Looking at what was coming out, one thing I want to be good and think is going to be really bad is the Starfleet Academy show.
I agree with everything you just said.
I like I haven't been watching the new Star Treks, let's be honest, but I'm like, I like the education setting. I like it enough, and to mix that with then the training, which like we see in a lot of books now, like they're kind of in these training environments. It looks terrible. Anyway, I digress. 2026 does not matter, because in 2027 we get the Harry Potter TV show on HBO and or Netflix and or one of the other 17 streaming services.
Or just on YouTube.
All we need is something to hold us over for 2026. These things.
It could be on YouTube, or they could resurrect Quibi. That is just as likely. Okay. Anyway. Crackle or Freevee. Anyway, I digress. Lots of good pop culture coming out. We will chat about it, along with keeping up to date on all things Harry Potter. So give us a follow at HPTVPod, or email us at hptvpodcast@gmail.com. But thanks for hanging out with us and chatting pot. Jamie, send us out.
Peace out, snitches.